Hey everybody, welcome back to Life with Lolo. It is time for our weekly recap of Tyler Perry's Sistas. This is season 1, episode 21, and it was titled From the Balcony. Alright, y'all, so I picked up where it left off at last week, where the dad comes in, he's crying, and he's telling Calvin that his other dad died or whatever. Calvin upset, like, what, I just talked to him, what are you talking about, I just talked to him, whatever. When, so he gets up to go run to see the dad or whatever. Danny, Andy, and Karen coming back into the waiting room. Child, why did he run like that? What was the point? Why did he run like that? I was like, what the I'm not even going to do it. But why did they have him running like that? Of course, Danny clowning. Talking about something. Why was little Twinkle Toes running like that? And so, Bree, like his dad just died. It was like, or whatever. And so, Danny was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry to hear that. But, why did he run out here? Y'all saw him or whatever. So, Bree, like, you need to get it together. You need to stop. So, Bree leaves out. She all upset. And so, Danny, Andy, and Karen, they all clowning the run and stuff. And Andy, because Danny, at first they was trying to chastise Danny, and then they was like, you wasn't even doing it right. So then they started doing it. They was clowning and whatnot. Then we see Calvin, he at the bedside, he all upset, of course, because, his dad died and he wasn't there when he was, taking his last breath or whatever. And he was like, wow, I shouldn't have left him or whatever. I shouldn't have left him. And the dad is like, the other dad, he was like, he wanted you to leave or whatever. He wanted you to leave. And he was like, what? He was like, yeah, because he knew this time was coming and he wanted to, he couldn't hold on no more and he wanted to take his last breath, but he didn't want to do it while you was in here or whatever. So he wanted you to get out, basically get out of the room so he can let go or whatever. And I was just like, what? Okay. Like, whatever. I guess his dad ain't want him to see him die or something. Whatever, child. But anyway, the other dad, the one that's still alive, he was like, you need to go, you need to take him home, Bree, because Bree was standing behind him looking all stupid or whatever. But then the dad turned around and was like, you need to take him home, Bree, or whatever like that. And so Calvin, of course, he like, I don't want to go, I don't want to leave you. The dad like, look, we done spent 40 years together. I need to be with him by myself. I need to have this moment, with him. They going back and forth again. And then finally Calvin leaves or whatever. They in the hallway. He outside, he hugging Bree and stuff like that. He's still confused on why his dad pushed him away. He like, well, I need to be there with him. I need to be there. And Bree like, look, maybe he don't want you to see, what happens when people die or whatever. They had like involuntary movements, like all this stuff. And she was like, you seen somebody die? She was like, yeah, my grandma or whatever. And so they had like this moment. She was just hugging him and he was just crying and basically or whatever. And then so she was real honest with him too, like, because she was like, you're going to go through this grieving process and it's not going to be good. I'm not about to sit here and tell you something that's going, make you feel good or whatever. You're going to have these ups and downs. You're going to be mad. Like, you're going to go through this stuff. And that's like real shit. Like, grieving is not like, oh, you're going to be okay. You're going to get over it and all that other stuff. It's not nothing nice. So she was basically being honest with him and stuff. And then he said something like, I forgot what he said. Oh, he said something, he can't take his heart being broken again or something. And she was like, I'm not going to break your heart, I promise. I was like, you can't make promises like that, especially you, Bree. Like, because Bree, like, she gets it now as far as what Maurice got hurt and all that other stuff. But she still got like judgy tendencies. Like, she judges a lot. And I don't know if she don't even realize she judging or whatever, or maybe it's just concern, but it comes off as her being real judgmental or whatever. But this child, I can see down the road is going to be where she just going to judge him and something going to happen, and then it's going to hurt him. Like, you can't make no promises that you're not going to break nobody's heart. Like, you just can't do that. But that's what she said. And they was all hugging and whatnot. Danny and them in the waiting room, they can see Bree and Calvin, and Danny like, what is she doing? Like, why is she doing this or whatever? And Andy like, Danny, you need to go home. And she was like, no, I'm staying here. I'm here for Maurice or whatever. And they like, you don't even like Maurice. And she was like, it's not that I don't like him. He don't like me or whatever. And so they was like, hey, you high. It's like, you need to go home. And she was like, no, but I need to be here for Bree. And so they was like, no. Like, Andy was like, I'm just going to take you home. I'm going to be a good friend. I'm going to take you home. So Andy takes Danny home. Oh, no. Before she got into all that, they was like, what is wrong with you, girl? And then so she was telling them how Rodeo Preston didn't call her or whatever. She was like, I let him hit and then he didn't call me or whatever. So then they had the whole conversation, and then Andy was like, I'm gonna take you home. So she takes her home. Karen's still there. The doctor comes in the waiting room, grabs Karen. Karen goes to grab Bree, and then they go in to see Maurice. Child. If Tyler Perry don't stop fucking playing with me, how was the ventilator tube being held into Maurice's mouth? He was clenching it with his teeth. If they'll stop playing with me, I was like, what? That's the fakest. Whatever. That's a show. So it's like, really? You got your own studio and you couldn't have whatever. Maurice on the ventilator. They then medically induced him in a coma because he had some swelling on the brain, and the lady was saying like he was combative and all this other stuff. So they medically induced him in a coma. I'm like, what? When she first started talking, I was like, because he was being combative, y'all medically induced him. And then she said he had swollen on the brain. So I was like, oh, okay, that makes better sense. Like him being combative, you just give him a shot of Haldol or something like that, and then have his ass go sleepy night for a while. But because he had swollen on the brain, then you put him in medically induced coma so the swelling can go down and blah, blah, blah. So he in a coma, and Bree start breaking down, child. I said she got this crying thing and this anger thing down pat. She top-notch acting classes. Okay, she going to the best of them because she had that crying down to a T. Karen should have used that crying after that lady shot her. Bree should have taught her that. But I'm not shot Karen, shot herself. So she should have taught Karen how to cry and do all that other stuff, because Bree had that shit down pat. She started breaking down when the lady talking about something. He was talking about a black hat. Oh my God, the black hat. I gave him that hat. I said, oh girl, she was getting it, y'all. So she crying, she all hysterical and stuff. Then she go over there. The nurse like, it's okay, baby. His vital signs is doing good. He doing good. Just go over there and talk to him or whatever. So she go over there. She starts talking to Maurice, and then she can barely like. So she was like, let me get myself together because you wouldn't want to see me like this. All right. So then she started like trying to joke and stuff, but she really can't even get herself together because she just ends up breaking down again. And then so she just leaves out the room. She like, I can't do it or whatever. So then she leaves, and then she apologizes. She leaves out. What happened? Oh, so then in the waiting room we see Karen. She consoling Bree or whatever like that. Then she like, I don't understand. Why would somebody do this? Why do people hate like this? I don't understand. So she hysterical. Calvin walks up. Karen, like, some people just hate, they just be hating, girl. I don't know, like, And Calvin walks up, and so then Bree like, I'm so sorry, I just you. So he like, it's all right. Like, he consoling her, and his daddy just died. But so the dad walks up to her and was like, look here, Bree, you need to get yourself together. Like, this shit happens in this community, but if you want to advocate and be a rider for us or whatever like that, you gonna have to get tough and scared and buck the fuck up, basically. So he ain't say those words, but that's basically what he was telling her. And then he told her to take Calvin's ass home, and Calvin was like, oh no, Dad, I want to be here with you. And he like, look, I told you I need to be alone. I need to be here with my man, get him clinked up so we can send him to the funeral home and get this thing moving. So he didn't say those words, but basically he did tell Calvin he needed to be alone with the dad again and all of the stuff. He basically said the same stuff he said in the first scene that he repeating in this scene. So they leave the daddy. Then we at Danny's house or whatever. And Zach is at the dining room, kitchen, child. You know, it's all one little room. But he there at the table, child. He didn't ate the steak that Rodeo brought for Danny. I was like, oh Lord, this is gonna be a problem, and I was right. So Danny come in, and she like, oh whatever. He was like, what's going on, Danny? Whatever, I can't take another woman not liking me or whatever. And she was just like, well, just get used to it or something. And he was asking her where she was at. She was like, at the hospital. He was like, well, who was at the hospital or whatever? What was you seeing? She was like, Jesus. He was just walking in the hallway, curing everything, just healing everybody. Just what she say, healing leprosy and all. I was like, child, this girl was in her feelings hard. So then she finally say Maurice. And she asking if her house phone rung. He was like, Danny, you ain't paid that bill in years, girl. What is the problem? And he started questioning her. He was like, who are you waiting for to call you? He was like, you waiting for white boy to call you? That's racist, man. You shouldn't be saying. He was like, well, that's what you call him. And so she was like, no, you don't say that or whatever. So he was like, who, Rodeo? Like, you know, the cowboy and stuff. So then he started joking. And she was like, wait a minute, what is you eating? And he was like, steak. She was like, where you get the steak from? He was like, out the fridge. Nigga, did you buy steak to put in the fridge? So why is you buying steak? I was with Danny with that one. Did you buy the steak? Why is you cooking up the steak and eating the steak? So she was like, you got steak money. Like, he brought that steak for me. And he was like, well, I got $7. You can go down there and buy you a new steak and stuff like that. And she was just like, I don't want that $7 steak. I want that steak because he brought me that steak. And, he said something, child. She was like, just go to hell. He was talking about something. Do they got steak there? I mean, I can bring it back. Them two is a fucking mess. He was like, well, I can bring it back. I mean, it's going to be a little well done because they got flames in hell or whatever. So she just like popped off and got mad. He was just like, okay. Look, I'm going to go to the store and get you some steak. I'll be back or whatever. Because she was just at this point fed up because she just like, she just hate all men and whatever because Rodeo ain't call her. But again, you told Rodeo, we're gonna get to that one. So Andy, she at home. She on the phone calling, I guess, the jail or whatever, or the courthouse or something. And she was just like, what time is bail or whatever? And they going back and forth. And then Gary walks out the room with no goddamn shirt on, these tight ass joggers. I mean, it's just look all right or whatever. But anyway, he come out the room and she was like, oh my God, you scared me or whatever. And he was like, she was like, did you post bail? And he was like, no, he dropped the charges. And she was like, oh, okay, good. And he was like, well, I don't understand why he dropped the charges and stuff. So she tells him, you know, what she did. She went down there and talked to him and stuff. Of course, Gary get all pissed off because he don't want her near Morrison, because Morrison can't be trusted. But she like, look, I know, but I went down there. It was daylight. You know, it was the middle of the day. I wasn't in no harm's way or whatever like that. He was just like, oh, he was like, yeah, but still, you shouldn't be going. She was like, look, I'm all right. And he was like, well, what made him change his mind and stuff? She was like, well, I made a deal with him. I told him, like, I know it's other women out there, so you drop the charges and I'll drop the charges or something. She said, oh, no, I won't tell or do whatever. So she told him that. He was just like, and she told him also, like, I told him not to, you know, what's the child name? Jasmine, to drop the charges and stuff like that. And he was like, and he went for that. And she was like, yeah. He was just like, why? And so she was like, well, Morris and your wife are sleeping together. They're having an affair. He was like, what? No, that ain't right. So he in heavy denial. And she like, yeah. He was like, well, how you know? And so she tells him, like, you know, the phone call and stuff like that. He was just like, what? So how the fuck she doing that to me? And I said, sir, you cheated on her first? Like, the fuck? Oh, how high and mighty we get when somebody else cheats on us. Like, you don't, was good for the goose, not good for the gander. Like, get the fuck out of here. She got all rights to cheat because you was out here cheating on her, and it's probably not the first time, sir. So, boy, bye. So, he all in his feelings and stuff, and then he said he want to go over there so he can get some suits and stuff like that. And she like, you don't need to go over there. Like, for real, you don't need to go over there. And if you go over there, you need to take the cops with you. He was like, no, I'm going to be all right. She was like, you want to go over there and talk to her about Morrison? No, I ain't going to do that. She was like, you sure? He was like, I don't know. So she was like, look, she gonna set you up. She already went down to the police station talking about you abused her and she had the bruises and all this other stuff. So don't go down there. Trust me on this one. And he was just like, well, I need my stuff and stuff. She was like, look, just buy another suit and we'll figure everything else out or whatever. So then she like, please, and doing this all cute little thing. And so then he falls for it. They kiss, they say, I love you. And that's it. And we see Karen, she at the shop. So she finally go back to the shop. Because remember, the other day, she ain't go. So she back in the shop. And she talking to Pam, the receptionist and stuff. And she like, what? You back, girl? Oh, my God. I'm happy to see you and stuff. And Karen was like, well, I got any clients and stuff. And she was like, no, you don't have no clients. But I can call them and tell them that you back. And she was like, yeah, go ahead and do that. So then Pam want to get all nosy and stuff. Talking about, oh, you got these flowers here. So, of course, the flowers from Aaron. And she was like, but Pam don't know that. She was like, oh, who are the flowers from, girl? I didn't think Zach was that romantic. And she was like, they're not from Zach. Well, who they from? She was like, look, don't worry about that. Me and Zach not together, okay? We not again. Like, girl, y'all be back together next week. No, we won't. Okay, Pam, call the people, please. So Pam was like, all right, girl, all right. So then Karen go over there to her station. Here go Pam right behind her, talking about something. Well, I could have sworn that y'all was gonna get back together after what Zach came in here and said that night and stuff. She was like, what he say? She was like, girl, he was all like, oh, she was like, you know, never mind. I don't want to hear it. She was like, you what? I'm gonna tell you, She was like, see, I know y'all lay over because you don't want to hear it. She was like, just go call somebody, girl, call the people or something like that. I was just like, Pam's so goddamn nosy, but that's how they be in the hair salon, child. Then we at Bree house. She with Calvin. And, you know, he started talking about being with his dad. Well, no, he started talking about how he not with his dad again. I said, Lord have mercy. How many times he gonna say this shit? But he's still like, I should have stayed there at the hospital, blah, blah, blah. She like, look, he said he was gonna be fine. He just needs some alone time with him. It's all right. You going to see him and stuff like that. So he was like, look, I need a drink. And she was like, what, you want, some juice, some water? He was like, no, I need something strong. So she tell him where the alcohol at. He go get the alcohol, this big ass bottle of water. So they come back and then she like, you want a drink? She like, oh, well, it's kind of early. See what I'm saying? Judging. So he like, you want to have a drink with me or no? And so she was like, okay. So, we poured the drinks and stuff, and he started reminiscing about how his dad came to his basketball. Was it basketball? It was some kind of game. But it was outside though. So it was some kind of game, and his dads both came, and they embarrassed them because, you know, like kids can be cruel and stuff like that. Oh, you got two dads, blah, blah, blah. So he was embarrassed, and he came home crying and stuff, but he didn't tell them. But of course they knew why, you know, what was going on. So he said like the next couple games they didn't show up, and he was happy. So he felt bad because all this stuff. So she was like, but she was 11 years old. She was like, I used to, you know, get upset with my grandma because she used to sew my clothes all the time. But then I realized how expensive clothes were, so I appreciated them more or whatever. So then he was telling how his dad used to watch him play. I don't know if it was basketball, soccer, volleyball. Child, I don't remember what it was. But somehow they watched the games from across the street on the neighbor's porch or whatever like that. That's why I'm thinking it had to be something outside, because I mean, I guess you can play basketball outside, but if it's for school, you usually play it inside of the school, whatever. But was it football? I don't remember, y'all. But anyway, he was saying he missed his dad, and Bree was saying like they proud of you and your mom is proud of you and stuff. So then he poured another glass of vodka, and he tosses that one back. And he was like, oh, so you know about her? She was like, yeah, you know, your dad told me and stuff. And he thanks her for being there for him. And she was like, well, you're welcome, but, you know, whatever. And he was like, yeah, because I was an ass to you. So she was just like, I'm an ass. And so that's when he took the moment, I don't understand why, to be like, oh, let me show you something. And then he came and pulled his pants down and showed that he had on some boxers. I was just like, that didn't fit the scene, but whatever. So he showed her he got boxes, and she was like, well, you ain't had to do that for me. And he was like, oh no, he told his dads, and they was looking at him suspect too, like, you got something to tell us, son? Because he was like, my daddy all hippie like and all this other stuff, but he was questioning me too. I was like, we all were. Okay, we all were. And so then he was saying like his dad had sent him articles on low sperm count and all this other stuff, and how he wanted to have kids and get him grandkids. But then he was like, well, I can't do that now. And she was like, well, you have a whole nother dad and stuff. And he was like, yeah, we better hurry up to have him and stuff. She was like, well, why you gotta rush and stuff? Is he like something wrong with him? He was like, no, he healthy and stuff. She was like, oh, well, you got time? And he was like, yeah, we got time. And so then he got all embarrassed because of course he falling for Bree. Oh, child, he falling for Bree. So he was just like, let me get another drink. And she was like, don't you think what'd she say? Oh, she was like, don't you think you should go easy on it or something like that? And he said something, you won't care for me or something. And she was like, yeah. So then he just tossed the drink back. And I was like, see, Bree, you was being judgy. In that one scene when he was drinking the alcohol, you was being judgy. Like, calm down, Bree. He just lost his dad or whatever. He not going out to drink or drive or nothing like that. Like, just let the man just get his little alcohol on right now. Let him get his drink on. Damn. Anyway, we see Karen. She at the shop. She doing somebody's hair. And Aaron calls to ask if she got the flowers. And he says it's the least he could do for, tearing up her place and stuff. And then he was like, did you look inside the flowers? And she was like, no. He was like, look inside the flowers. So inside the flowers is her bonsai tree, the one that Zach and Aaron had stepped on when they was fighting. And she was like, oh my God, how you get that in there or whatever? And he said, he got a person with a green thumb. They sold it up for or whatever. And it's, going to recover. And she was like, oh, thank you. And he was like, yeah, I thought it meant something to you or whatever, the way you was looking at it. And she said her dad gave it to her. I thought Zach had said her grandmom gave it to her. Who gave the dick? Whatever, child. I was just like, what? So, he asked her where she was, she asked him where he was headed. He was like, you don't even want to know. He was going to the in-laws place, but he was like, when I'm done, can I come by to see you? She said, yeah. So, that was it for them. Zach came back with some steak, child. And she was like, where you get $7 steak from? He was like, the pet store or whatever. So he was like, what you doing? She on her computer, she scrolling on Rodeo's social media pages and stuff. And he was like, see, you want to find something that you don't like or something like that. She was like, it's all right, whatever. And he was like, see, that's why we don't be posting stuff. She was like, it's okay, because I know a friend of yours, y'all, they gonna post something. So, she Inspector Gadget on that damn social media. And she was going in on him, talking about y'all not shit and stuff like that. And he was like, well, I'm not him. She was like, won't you pretend to be him for a second? So, of course, he got to be all goofy Zach and doing the whole country accent and stuff. She was like, no, seriously, though. Can you do it? And so she was telling him, like, look, I smacked, I let him, what she say? He came all over me figuratively and something she said. And then he just left in the morning and then said goodbye. And he was like, well, I don't want to tell you. She was like, just tell me. He was like, see, he probably just wanted to smash, and then he got what he wanted, and he did, because all we about is the hunt and stuff. And she was like, oh, so he just, y'all cavemen now or something, and y'all just going just smash and dip out. So he did all that just to hit it, and that's it. And so he was like, yeah, I mean, yeah. She was like, oh, so first he was blowing me all up, then I told him to stop, and then he was like, whoa, wait. You told him to stop? And she was like, yeah. He was like, when you tell him to do that? She was like, last night. He was like, what? And then you mad? Like, what? He confused. I'm confused. We all confused. So why are you mad that you done told this man to stop blowing you up, Danny? And then he did what you told him to do. And then you mad at, girl, well, she exhausted. And he was like, basically like, look, y'all tell us to leave, but you want us to stay. We leave, you get mad. How we supposed to understand? I was that. I'm like, you say what you mean. Don't, like, come on, all that game playing and mind tricks and all that. Like, ain't nobody got time for that shit. So they do their little banter. And she, because he was like, so you don't really care if he calls? She was like, no, I don't care. And he was like, so you don't really care? She was like, no, I don't care. So then he picks up his phone, calls her. Child, she ran and got... She hopped up so goddamn fast to get her phone to see if it was him. And he was like, oh, I thought you didn't care. She was like, fuck you, go to hell, Zach, or whatever. They do their little thing. He steady playing with her or whatnot. And she was like, you know what, go to hell with your your Velcro wallet. I said, damn, you ain't had to hit him with that Velcro. He was like, why you keep coming for my wallet? Like, come on now, sir. You how old and got a goddamn Velcro wallet? Oh, anyway, we get back at the shop. Karen mom, she come in and check on Karen because you know she was out camping and stuff. So she got Pam's messages lead and stuff. So she come over there to Karen, ask her what happened. Karen tell her and stuff. And she was like, well, she could have did something to you. She was like, no, mom, she ain't do nothing to me. I'm fine. And so the mom was just like, see, this is why y'all don't sleep with me. I was like, all loud in the shop. She was like, Mom, I ain't sleep with this man. And she was like, well, they don't know that or something. What'd she say? She was like, yeah, I know that. And she was like, yeah, but now everybody think I slept with this man and he was married. She was like, fuck what they think. Like, whatever, they got secrets that I own or whatever. So, not Pam. Oh, so the mom was like, where you get those flowers from? And here go Pam, from the man she not seeing. Girl. So she like, so tell me about him or whatever. And so she was like, well, what about Zach? Here go Pam. They broke up. And so she was like, again, y'all be back together in a week. That's what I told her, but she got mad at me. She was like, Pam, do your job. Call some people, shit, or whatever. So, she was like, why y'all break up? The mom to Karen. And she was like, same old shit, Mom. I'm done with him or whatever like that. And so she was like, okay. And so she was like, well, tell me about him. So Karen starts telling her about, Aaron and stuff. And she all googly-eyed and stuff. And then here go Aaron, mother-in-law, walking in. Pam like, can I help you? She was like, oh, I need to see her or whatever. She was like, oh, do you have an appointment? She was like, no. So Pam said, you're talking to the lady. She just walks over there to Karen. And she was like, so she killed herself right here or whatever. And this is what she came to do it. This is when my daughter shot herself. Pam like, oh shit. And the mom was just like, Karen's mom was like, yeah, that's from what I was told she did or whatever. And she was like, and who are you? She was like, I'm the mother of the daughter she killed. And she was like, my daughter ain't kill him or whatever, kill her or whatever. And so she was like, when she was sleeping with the man my daughter married and all this other stuff. And so the mom was basically like, you don't want this smoke. Like, you want the smoke, like, come on, let's go for it or whatever. Because, the mama, she gangster. And so here go the mother-in-law. Yeah, I do. And she pulled out a gun. I said, oh, her daughter and these goddamn guns. Like, what the child? What you gonna do? You gonna kill Karen? If y'all don't get Tyler Perry don't get the fuck out of face with this shit. How she kill your daughter and your daughter shot herself? She ain't had nothing to do with Aaron. Whatever, child. That was the end of the damn episode. Next week, she looked like she was waving a gun around, and the mama was basically like, bitch, get the fuck out of here, type thing. And I was like, go ahead, mama, go off. Y'all tell me what y'all thought about this episode tonight. And what else, y'all? I don't even know what else, y'all. Because I was going to say something, but it really wasn't nothing really because all the stuff is like really predictable. I think that Gary gonna run over there to the Jasmine, pop off. Jasmine gonna file charges on him. Danny still ain't gonna hear from Rodeo until maybe the next day, so she's still gonna really be in her feelings. And then when he calls, she gonna really be in her feelings, like, why you ain't call? And then what else, y'all? Oh, and then the lady, she ain't gonna do nothing because the mama look like she gonna wail on that mom, on the mother-in-law and bust her ass out. And then Calvin and Bree gonna have some kind of issues because he gonna be drinking too much, and then Bree gonna be judging him. That's my predictions for the rest of the season. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all feel about the rest of the season. Y'all let me know if y'all like this review by hitting that thumbs up button. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, go on, hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell to be notified for when I drop new videos. All right, y'all, that's it for tonight. Until next time.